Hi there, my name is Cole, and in today's video, I am tired, which has become a disconcertingly common trend in recent videos. Well, actually, in today's video, we are going to be talking about this Lamborghini Diablo Cyberpunk style, which I have recreated in LEGO. Now, you may be wondering, there is no such thing as a Cyberpunk Lamborghini Diablo. So let's go into detail a bit more as to what this is. But first, in case you guys were wondering about building this yourself, unfortunately, this video is all the help you're going to get, as the model is very not stable and very not legal. Not that I really care about legal building techniques, as people call them, but this one's really bad. Yeah, no instructions for this one, but of course you're free to try and copy it from this video. You're free to try copy any of my models from any of my videos if you want to, but just thought I'd get that out of the way. One more thing before we start. Now, in winter, well, not winter, this is winter, I guess, isn't it? Or is it winter yet? It might still be fall as I'm recording this. Either way, in the next couple of weeks, the videos will be slightly more frequent, as I have several models, including this Lamborghini Diablo, which I have not made videos on, and I have not recorded any design process, or just kind of like late to make a video on it, I feel like. I'm kind of not so excited about the model anymore, and so I'm going to attempt to become excited about the model again. Not that I don't like it, the hype kind of died down because I built it a couple months back. And so in the next couple of videos, I will be going over several models like this, which if you follow my Instagram, you probably already will have seen. But I haven't bothered to make YouTube videos about yet, so we're going to be making a bunch of videos on these models. So with that, let's get talking about the Diablo Cyberpunk thingy. The lighting is really bad. Well, it's not great. I am going to improve this. Hold on a second. That's a little bit better. It still looks kind of weird. I don't know. So I forgot to mention in the previous clip, my head is really big in this shot. Hold on. Get my head out of the shot a bit. Hopefully it's I think it looks a bit better. So, well, actually, before we get into the actual Cyberpunk Diablo bit, one thing I forgot to mention in the previous clip is that, well, not only am I making these videos of these unfeatured models, here's another one right here. Not only am I making them because I want to feature these models on the channel, but also I really feel like I get better at making videos with every video, and so I feel like having these models and not making videos about them is almost a waste of a missed opportunity, a wasted opportunity to improve at making videos. So why not? I don't know. I'm not sure if any of you guys care about this, but I think it's sort of interesting, so I figured I'd throw it out there. All right, on to the cool stuff. The Lamborghini Diablo Cyberpunk thingy. So I think Cyberpunk is a very cool thing as a genre, I guess you would call it. Now, obviously, Cyberpunk kind of refers to the video game itself, Cyberpunk 2077, which I think is very cool. I do not play it myself, but I've seen plenty of content on it, and it looks very cool. Obviously, the Cyberpunk theme is not limited to that game. There's plenty of movies and TV shows and other stuff with the same aesthetic and things. But either way, Cyberpunk 2077 has some very cool cars in it that are, well, they look cyberpunk, for lack of a better term. Either way, the style of cars in that game is really cool because, I don't know how to explain it. Here's some of the cars. They look very futuristic, they look very cool, they look, I don't know. I don't know the cars. I've never played the game. I only know like the aesthetic they go for with all this like stuff. I don't know how to explain it. They look cool. They look like cyberpunk cars. This is a really bad explanation. I'm sorry, guys. Either way, a little while back, a friend of mine on Instagram was having a Lego Cyberpunk building collaboration, and he suggested that I build a car for it. And so I was like, oh, a Diablo would be cool. Or maybe he might have suggested a Diablo. Either way, I was like, that would be a really cool thing to do. And so I began building it like, what, 6 months ago, 5 months ago at this point? It was a while back. And it didn't take that long. The whole model is rather cobbled together, I suppose you would say. There are plenty of illegal techniques. The windshield isn't even secured, as you can see right here. But I love the way it looks. So now that we've gotten the cyberpunk aesthetic explanation out of the way, let's look at the car itself. Now, before we start, I want to give a shout out to Lego Finn, I think on Instagram and Flickr, because he builds all sorts of insane Lego cyberpunk stuff, including cars, including this really sick like cyberpunk Miata, which was very much a heavy inspiration for this model. So massive shout out to him. Highly recommend you go follow him because he does a lot of cool stuff. So let's start the overview. Now, you may or may not know what the Lamborghini Diablo is. It is Lamborghini's 1990s supercar. Remind me not to kick the tripod next time. the Lamborghini Diablo is Lamborghini's 1990s ultimate supercar. Well, in fact, I think for a while it was the only supercar they had in the 1990s. Remind me to turn notifications off on Instagram next time I record a video as well. There's too many distractions. It's not going well. And so it doesn't make sense to Cyberpunk modify one because I don't think that's not a thing in Cyberpunk 2077. I suppose that's part of the inspiration from Lego Finn taking an old car and making it Cyberpunk. I don't think there are any Cyberpunk 2077 cars that are old cars have been modified, but I think it's a really cool concept. Today you have like the resto mod thing where you'll take an old car and restore and upgrade it. So this is just that on a very futuristic level, with what is already like a stupid fast car, making it probably faster, probably bulletproof as well, which is kind of cool, because I think Cyberpunk worlds are not especially bullet-free, for lack of a better term. I'm sorry guys, the explanations of stuff in this video are going off the rails. Alright, let's get started with the overview. So the first thing you'll notice is that a lot of cars in Cyberpunk 2077 have this interesting, I assume it's armor. Like I said, I haven't played the game, I don't know what it is, that wraps around the windshield. I believe it retracts on all the cars that it's on, so you can like see through the windshield, and you have like screens on the inside to see outside of the car when this armor is up. And that is represented here by the entire window area being gray. This was something that was inspired by Lego Finn's Miata. We have this asymmetrical grille tile on here because, well, one thing you'll notice all over this car is asymmetrical details. I personally love when anything is asymmetrical designed. I don't know, this sounds weird. And obviously there's some things that don't make any sense to be asymmetrical, like, I don't know, a bed or something, an asymmetrical bed, asymmetrical shelf. That makes no sense. A lot of things though, like cars to an extent, normal cars maybe not so much, but weird kind of wacky cars like this, and I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of another example. I think a lot of things can be really sick when they're asymmetrical, or asymmetrically designed, whatever. You guys hopefully know what I'm talking about, but I don't blame you if you don't. Either way, this car is an example of why I think asymmetrical design is cool. Also, let me get a water bottle out of the frame. This video's going great, guys. So there are various asymmetrical details on this model, which I will go over as I go over the car. Alright, let's just start up front. In the front, we have a relatively standard looking Diablo. I should mention that if you guys are wondering about why I haven't built a stock Diablo yet, I really want to, and I probably will at some point, but I'm not planning on it soon. I say that, and then the next model is going to be like a Diablo. But either way, it will not be based off of this, because this was thrown together rather quickly, and while I really like it, I will make a completely new model when I make a Diablo, because this isn't perfectly like a Diablo, or not as close as I would like it to be at least. So in front, relatively standard looking Diablo looking front, lots of intakes and stuff. This is based on an earlier Diablo with pop-up headlights. Unfortunately, there are no pop-up headlights on this model, but that's fine because I think it looks pretty sick with just no headlights, and it looks kind of sleek. On one side, we have an example of the asymmetrical design I was referring to earlier, with these really cool printed tiles with these warning stripes on them and then some parts above that. And I just love the way this looks. I just think this looks so sick on here. Then moving back, we have the front wheels, which have these 2x2 discs in yellow inserted into them, and this gives it a cool kind of aero disc turbofan look to it. Moving back on the right side, or at least if you're driving the car on the right side, we have, I don't want to call it a rear view mirror because I feel like this car would have like high-tech cameras and stuff. Maybe it's a camera thing. It's this asymmetrical tile showing up here. Moving back, we have the most complex part of this model, which is the sides, because if you've seen any of my previous videos where I've built Lamborghinis, or if you've attempted to build a Lamborghini yourself, you will know that the sides are a very difficult part of building Lamborghinis. Well, that and the front. The front can get rather difficult with the slope. By the way, on this model, it's just some hinge plates that angle it downwards. So the main part of the sides here is just simple stacked plates. They are very unstably and legally connected to some plates on a hinge plate that doesn't really work that well, but they look fine, but the connection is rather janky. It's not especially good. Under that, we have some panels which fill in a gap. These are basically just hanging there. There's nothing connecting them really. Under that, we have a very similar side panel intake thing to my Murcielago model, which is just upside down tile, angled tile above that, and then some and then some sideways building snot bricks in the back to connect all of that. All of this makes for a rather unstable but very, very cool looking assembly. We have an interior. Well, actually, no, we don't have an interior. We have a steering wheel and like the very, very minimal interior details. I at least attempted to make a cool cyberpunk looking steering wheel, dashboard and stuff. Then moving back, we have sort of an engine cover with these staggered tiles. Kind of gives that Lambo engine cover look. We have lots of wedge plates because I believe it's Diablo SE30. I'm not sure if, I think maybe all the Diablos have this kind of quad intakes in the back, or 2 on each side. I think this looks super sick. Represented here with wedge plates, the front ones which are held on with robot arms, and the rear ones which are just stacked on there. On one side, as you can see, we have this really cool sticker from the Dodge Demon set, which I think just looks really sick here. We have a wing which is somewhat inspired by the Diablo GTR. This is mounted very far forward where the rear wheels are, and it's got some cool asymmetrical colors on it as well. Around the back, we have inspiration from various sources. Now, a real resto mod Diablo was revealed. Well, I don't know if it's a resto mod or a completely different car. Either way, some company has announced that they're going to build this kind of modernized Diablo. And so I took some inspiration from the rear of that on this. How much of that actually went through, I'm not sure because it doesn't look incredibly similar, but either way. On the bottom, we have some, I don't know what you want to call these, diffuser-ish bits. They're not really that much like a diffuser. We have quad exhaust pipes, somewhat inspired by the Venador SV with its very aggressive quad exhaust pipes. I think they look super sick here. Then above that, we have one of my favorite parts of this whole model, which is the taillights, which are just these grille tiles in transparent red, which is a sick color. I love this part. I remember like being a little kid and finding some of these in a pick-a-brick wall at the Lego store, and I thought they were like the sickest part ever. And then above that, we have some panels, which very nicely kind of close off the taillights, and then the wing sits above that. The rear wheels also have these like slick tire elements, which is a nice contrast to the yellow turbofan in front. And with that, we've pretty much finished the overview of this model. As you can see, it is rather unstable, and thus, if you build it, you've been warned that it is rather unstable. However, it is a very cool model, and I hope you guys enjoyed this overview of it. Maybe it'll inspire you to build your own cyberpunk car, and if not, I hope you enjoyed it. Now, like I said, no instructions for this model. We will have maybe more frequent videos in the next couple weeks, so keep your eyes peeled if you would like to see them. And with that, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching.